In the heart of Anhui, China, an ancient drum tower stood for over 650 years. It watched dynasties rise and fall, weathered countless wars, and endured centuries of storms. But in the spring of 2025, something truly strange happened on a perfectly clear day. With no earthquake, no storm, and no warning, its roof suddenly collapsed. What could have caused this magnificent structure to fall after standing strong for so long? And what about the eerie, unsettling sounds people reported hearing from inside the tower just days before the disaster? Let's uncover the mystery behind the fall of the Fenjiang Drum Tower. The Fenjiang Drum Tower wasn't just a building, it was a living symbol of endurance and resilience. Constructed way back in the Ming Dynasty, it was a testament to the skill of ancient architects. It survived devastating fires, torrential rains, and underwent numerous restorations over the centuries, each time re-emerging as a proud landmark for the local people. It held deep spiritual significance. They saw it as a guardian, a silent protector watching over their town. But in late May of 2025, something about the tower began to feel off. Visitors who walked its grounds and admired its architecture started to whisper that it felt different, colder, somehow. The air around it seemed heavier, and some said the tower itself felt hollow, as if a great presence that once resided within had simply vanished. This feeling of emptiness was a subtle but chilling prelude to what was about to happen. Something inside had shifted, and the guardian of Fenjiang was about to send its final, shocking message. May 22, 2025. The day began like any other. The sun was shining, the sky was a brilliant blue, and a gentle breeze rustled through the trees. Tourists and locals milled about the square, enjoying the peaceful, ordinary day. Then, the first sound cut through the calm. It was a low, deep crack, and a natural noise that seemed to echo from the very top of the tower. People paused, looking up with confusion. What was that? Another crack followed, louder this time. Then another, and another, in quick succession. Panic began to set in as small tiles started to slide off the magnificent, curved roof. They tumbled down like scales being shed from a giant, awakening creature. A thick cloud of dust billowed from the top, obscuring the sky. And then, with a thunderous, earth-shaking crash that reverberated through the entire town, the massive roof structure caved in on itself. The entire event was over in seconds. The collapse was so sudden, so total, that it left everyone, including structural experts, completely and utterly stunned. The impossible had happened. Chaos erupted in the streets. The deafening crash was followed by a wave of pure panic. People scattered in every direction, screaming and running for cover. Parents clutched their children, pulling them close as they fled the scene. Shopkeepers in the square frantically slammed their doors and shutters, bracing for the worst. The dust cloud from the collapse was so thick and intense that it enveloped the area in a ghostly white fog, reducing visibility to almost zero. Through the panic and confusion, several witnesses later reported hearing something else, something deeply unsettling. They described a deep, resonant rumbling coming from within the tower's base, a sound they said was almost like a massive drum being struck, over and over, but that was impossible. The great drum of the tower had been removed decades ago. What could have made that sound? It was a question that added a layer of supernatural dread to the already terrifying event. Once the dust settled and the area was secured, a team of engineers and historical preservation experts moved in to investigate the wreckage. They expected to find the usual culprits for a structural failure of this kind: severe water damage, rotting wood, or perhaps termite infestation. But as they sifted through the debris, they found nothing of the sort. The ancient wooden beams, some as thick as a person's body, hadn't rotted or decayed. Instead, they had snapped cleanly, with tremendous force. The fracture patterns were bizarre. It looked as if something had pushed outward from the inside with explosive power. Yet, there was no evidence of a bomb, no burn marks, no chemical residue, no sign of any conventional explosive. The physics of the collapse just didn't add up. It defied a simple, natural explanation. The tower hadn't just fallen, it seemed to have been torn apart from within by an invisible, powerful force. This is where the story takes a turn from a structural mystery to a local legend. The people of Fenjiang have long passed down a folklore tale about the Drum Tower. They believe it is inhabited by a tower spirit, a benevolent entity that protects the town and its people. According to this ancient tale, the spirit is the tower's life force. If the spirit were to ever leave its home, the tower itself would collapse as a final, desperate warning to the town of a great misfortune to come. Was it just superstition? A way for people to make sense of a tragedy? Perhaps. But here's the chilling part. Just 2 days after the tower fell, the entire region was struck by a violent and destructive storm, one of the worst in recent memory. Floods and high winds caused widespread damage. In the eyes of many locals, the connection was undeniable. The tower hadn't just collapsed, it had sacrificed itself, giving its final warning to protect them from the coming danger. Today, the base of the Fenjiang Drum Tower still stands, a scarred but stoic reminder of what was lost. But its magnificent roof, its crown and its glory, is gone. The guardian that watched over the town for centuries is now silent. Whether it fell due to the slow, inevitable march of time, a hidden structural flaw, or something far older and more mysterious, we may never know for certain. But one thing is clear, the Great Drum Tower of Fenjiang didn't fall quietly. It left behind a mystery, a legend, and a message that will be debated for generations to come. Thank you for watching. If you're fascinated by mysteries like this, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more stories from the crossroads of history and legend. We'll see you in the next one.